Podcasters to the Indie Pod Daily Show. I'm your host, Super Joe Pardo, as that's what it says down here in the bottom left-hand corner. And I am here tonight with a really special guest I'm looking forward to. I got to speak with him yesterday at his virtual conference. It was Social Media Day, and we were supposed to spend 30 minutes talking about online building community, and I think we talked about it for about 5.5 minutes, and the rest of our time was spent talking about my business background and how I work with small businesses and all of that. And what's ironic is if you look at the title, it says we're going to talk about social media mastery, but actually I think we're going to talk about something a little bit different than that, though it will be social media related. What's up, Gordon? How you doing? What's going on, everybody? Can you throw in the chat where you're listening from, what you're up to tonight? Thank you for joining us at this 8 o'clock hour on a Wednesday night to see me, where I need a haircut very badly. I got to get my wife to help me out there. I meant to do it before the conference, but I thought it was never going to be time. Oh, thank you so much, Larry Roberts. I appreciate the confidence in our ability to stay on topic. We will see how that happens. Anyway, today is a Wisdom Wednesday, so we're going to we have our special guest tonight, and we're going to talk about a topic that is social media related, kind of, but I think we're gonna venture into a little bit different territory. That I think will be. Oh, Kenneth Square, what's up, Charlie? How you doing? Enjoying? Is Kenneth Square holding up well tonight? So yeah, I want to make everybody aware that we have the July 11th Automate Your Podcast Conference coming up. If you want to speak, we're still looking for speakers. Go to indiepodcasters.com/virtual, and you totally should go there, because I spent about 40 minutes today updating the page to make it look a little bit nicer than it had looked before. It's amazing what a little page building wizardry can do for a web page layout versus just like everything in line and just going straight down the page with all the information. I figured that after being the 8th event in a row, I should probably, what's up, Gordon, all the way from Hollywood. What's up, Meg? How you doing tonight? I figured I should probably take some time and make the page look a little bit nicer, a little bit nicer layout. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. And the other thing is if you haven't heard, I'm launching the Supercharge Your Podcast, turn your podcast into your business, build a stronger community, make more money, gain notoriety. Go to indiepodcasters.com/super to go and check it out. Would love to have some of you join us in the group that will be launching on Friday. Right now, the price is at $67 for lifetime. So lifetime members, $67 a month versus after July 5th, it'll be going up to $97 a month. And it includes a whole host of different things that we're going to help you. The goal really is, from day one, from you joining the group, is to make 10 times what you're paying to be in the group. So if you're paying $67, then the goal is to get you $670 a month, so that you feel like you're getting the value that you're entitled to. And I feel that podcasters should be getting paid for their craft, and I feel like I'm going to help you get there, level up every aspect of your podcast. I'll talk a little more later about that later, but if you want the ability to join for free for a month, go to indiepodcasters.com/free, and we're going to be doing Free Ride Friday. Figure It Out Friday is becoming Free Ride Friday, where we'll be still doing the live coaching and Q&A and all that, but we're going to be giving away every week a free ride for a month in the Super Circle. So if you want to do that, go to indiepodcasters.com/free. And leave me a recommendation if I've helped you with your podcast, with your business, with your life, because I've written three life development books, self-development books. Yeah, I can talk. Go leave me a recommendation. I'll be picking 3 of those to kick this thing off on Friday, on Free Ride Friday, which is taking place at 8 a.m. Eastern. I got to schedule that. on the schedule. But anyway, at this point, I need to stop talking. I need to do some introducing. Like I said, I am super excited to have our guest on tonight. He's all about social media. I'm really glad that I got connected with him. It's kind of a shame I didn't get to meet him at Podfest, even though we were literally standing in the same circle of people for a while, which now sounds a little distressing. In the sense that, like, apparently COVID was already among us at the time, but it wasn't at Podfest where we were, fortunately. I have the absolute pleasure. So I need some super claps in the chat for Super Eddie Garrison. Woo! What is going on, man? How you feeling tonight?
What's up, Super Joe? A little more rested from yesterday. So
I bet. So you went 6 hours, right? 6.5 hours?
Yeah, almost 7. It was like 6 hours and 40 minutes.
I love it. Congratulations, man. It's a gauntlet,
Cheers,
isn't it?
It was.
You were on the whole time. Like, I mean,
I
I put my camera down, I give the floor to somebody else, and I sit at my desk. I'm listening, I'm watching, I'm getting some other things done around the studio and all. But like, you were there.
I followed you once to go through like your spiel, so I could run into my kitchen and get some water.
I know. Well, you probably didn't hear, but I told you to go get water.
Like, did you?
I was like, yes, run. I was like, run and get that water. Go do what you got to do, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, man. How are we standing in the same circle and we didn't even say what's up?
I was talking to a bunch of people that I kind of knew, and
Right.
I didn't even. The only reason I even know is because I think I seen that you got tagged in the same picture, the group photo that we took, and I'm like, oh, the guy was standing right there the whole time. I don't even remember how I got added to your group, which I'm so glad I have. If you haven't gone, you should totally go. Was it DMCA, right?
Yeah, Digital Media Creator Academy. Yeah.
Digital Media. I'm going to pull it up here whenever Facebook decides to load because, internet. Here we go. So, yeah, so you should totally go check out the Digital Media Creator Academy because Eddie is adding stuff every single day, things that I would have never known, things because, like, I'm not a social media campaign manager or anything like that. I mean, I run my own. But I'm not in tuned with it to that level where I, need to know some of the smallest details that he's like, hey, did you see that Twitter's doing this? Or, they added this feature. And I'm like, wow, I love finding out about it for sure because I didn't know about it otherwise.
Yeah, I try to keep everybody as up to speed as I possibly can with the people that I know that are basically like on the inside track of Twitter or Facebook, or as much as I detest LinkedIn. But
so okay, so tell me, why do you just detest LinkedIn?
It's everyone asks me the same question every time I say it. And so basically for me, it just became a wasteland of nothing but self-promotion and spam bots. That's like all it became for me.
Okay.
And I just got tired of it, and I literally probably spent 10 years on the platform and got zero return back from it of anything. So I was like, you know what? In 2020, it's gone.
Somewhere Karen Yankovic is like, oh no, I don't believe it. I don't want to hear that.
Good.
I don't want to hear it because there is, I mean, I guess does it depend on what you're doing? Like what kind of business? Because like I know in my family's repair business, like we get a ton of business out of LinkedIn because there's all the shop managers and stuff are on there. Like they're not on Facebook because they don't care. Like their wives are on Facebook. They're not on Facebook because they're like Mr. Grizzly Man, they're not doing that.
Right. And see, I'm the opposite. Like all the customers that I get, they're on Facebook. They're not on LinkedIn.
Okay. Huh.
It got to the point, Joe, where I was like, okay, where am I seeing the revenue coming from? Where am I not seeing the revenue coming from? And just trimming the fat.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Look, I ignored LinkedIn for quite a while, and I recently reached out to Karen Yankovic. Was like, hey, can you help me with the link? Get LinkedIn on the next level here, because like you've been talking about it to me for years. I know I should be doing it, and now here I am, and I'll tell you, I did a lot of outreach today using the Sales Navigator, and it actually almost every person got back to me and has connected with me. And I was just trying to expand my podcasting network, right? Like
Right.
reaching out and like, hey, we do these interviews or these virtual conferences. Would love to have you in them. It would be great, it'd be awesome to have you speak. And then they connected. So, I mean, will it go anywhere? I don't know. I'm interested to see. But either way, I felt like I should have it's funny. It's funny. Now that I'm looking at the profiles, I can see who has like an old, like the people who haven't tried on their profile at all.
Mhm.
Then you have people who like, it seems like they have the old way of doing it. And then the people that have the new way was like, you add like little emojis and icons and, and all that stuff to stand out. But like soon everybody will catch up to that. And then what's the next, what's the next thing that I gotta, rewrite the profile to try to,
It was like I had
a
a content calendar specifically for LinkedIn, right? So like every Monday I was writing an article on LinkedIn, right? Just like a short article. Like, and every Tuesday I was posting an under like a marketing minute video. I did that for 2 years and nothing. And I was just fed up with it. It was just eating too much of my time. And I was just like, I'm done.
Wow. Well, that's a
Exactly.
hard lesson learned, to invest that
It's all
much
right.
time and effort into something that just, but what the thing is you're not gonna speak to every person that's there,
No.
either, right? Like
Yeah.
it's, if I come there with my T-shirt on, it doesn't speak the same language as a lot of the people that I'm trying to speak to, which
Right.
would be like human resources people and like top executives and businesses and stuff like that from small.
And I get that, and I see that actually too, because I think a lot of people maybe misjudge about what you can do on LinkedIn, where I think it might be, and I may be incorrect on this because I haven't been on it since 6 months, but I see a lot more high ticket sales getting done on LinkedIn other than like say on Facebook, where it's not, for me anyway, right? So like the small business owners I work with, they're not going on LinkedIn to try to find somebody to do their social media for them. They're asking their other friends on Facebook, hey, do you know anybody that you can tag on Facebook that does social media? And that's word of mouth basically is what I'm getting at there.
Well, is that because that's where their customers are?
Yes,
right.
I think.
So that's why they're on Facebook, right? Because
Yeah.
what kind of businesses do you work with to give some frame of reference?
I've worked with anybody from restaurants to craft breweries to construction companies to real estate agents.
So, with the exception of maybe construction companies, all of them that you mentioned are definitely on Facebook because that's where their customers are out of, right?
Yeah.
That's where they're getting.
It was funny. I worked with that construction company for about 3 years, right? Did 0 sales on LinkedIn. All their sales came from Facebook.
Well, it's like I said, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you don't know who the people.
Yeah.
Who the people you're serving are until like well after the fact, after you spent the money and figured it all out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like from my perspective, like for the longest time, I was trying to drill the Facebook, like beat the Facebook drum with the whole small business thing, and I didn't get as far along with it as I thought I could. But and the question kept coming back from friends of mine were like, is your people really on Facebook or are they on LinkedIn? And I'm like, but I'm not going to LinkedIn because I'm not that interested in going to LinkedIn. So it becomes a conundrum. It's like, well, I got to go somewhere I'm not really that comfortable with. My profile is not really there. It's done-ish. It's a superstar profile, but it's really not that great. It's nothing special. Now it is. And now I'm trying to just use it to find active people to bring into this community, which brings us full circle into let's talk about social media and building those communities. So it's almost like we're returning the tables a little bit.
Yeah, I like it. I'm all about it because my Facebook group is starting to grow exponentially now. So I'm right in the thick of it.
As it should, right?
Thank you.
I mean, you're posting like pretty much at least once a day, sometimes multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Showing off new things and things of that nature.
And I try to do a little bit more than that every day. It's more along the lines of like I do kind of like theme days, right? So every Monday is Marketing Monday, right? So whatever you need, if you're trying to sell a course, that's the thread you're going to do it in. If you got a new YouTube video that you just dropped and you need more views, that's the thread you do it in. Because I don't want people just coming in and going, spam and spam and spam and spam. And I want to keep it very structured. And then, we've got Tech Tuesday where we cover a piece of like lighting gear for a mobile phone or a wireless microphone you may have never heard of, because everybody's all about, oh, you got to get this one, you got to get this one, but maybe you don't have $250 to spend on a Sennheiser wireless. Maybe you need this one that costs $50 that'll get the job done for you. And then I've tried to rekindle that Follow Friday from Twitter back in the day. So if you need somebody to follow you on a specific account, that's going to be on the Follow Friday as well. So I try to do those to keep it more structured, and then sharing other information throughout the day as well. Like, oh, Facebook updated the newsfeed algorithm, or, this is what's happening on Twitter right now, and things like that. Because I think I want it to become a resource of information and a safe place for people to go, hey, do you guys know anything about this? Because I think social media, and actually one of my speakers, Patty Catter, actually spoke to this, where it can be cyberbullying, right? And I'm a firm believer in the only dumb question is the one that you never ask. So I want this to be like a very safe environment. So somebody that's just beginning in something can come in there and go, hey, how do I use an external mic on my phone? To something is what does it mean every time then the ranking signal that when somebody shares a post, and we can get really, really down in the weeds in that too. So I want to keep it really, really high level and really, really be able to get down in the weeds as well.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Sometimes it's hard because you don't know who the audience and like so everyone's at their own different levels of the journey and things of that nature. I mean, so my question to you is why did you start a group, right? What was because you already had your business. You've been a graphic designer for a long time and doing social media for a long time. So why the group? And when did you start the group actually?
I actually had the group for a while, like over a year. But I just wasn't doing anything with it. And then the end of last year, I was in a lot of different Facebook groups for social media managers, for other digital content creators. And I just saw what I thought was lacking, where it was like when somebody asks a question, I get so sick and tired of people going, oh, just use the search bar. Well, dude, it would have taken you 5 seconds just to answer the question again. Yes, the search is nice. And I tell people every once in a while to do it. But I just saw, and I tried to take a piece of every Facebook group, and I looked at the things that I liked, and I looked at the things that I disliked, and I'm like, all right, I think I can fill the void. Because truth be told, Joe, when I was in school to be a graphic designer, I thought when I graduated, I was going to go and teach people how to do graphic design. I actually wanted to be an instructor. Obviously, that didn't pan out. But now, you fast forward, I graduated college in 2002. So you fast forward 18 years. Now it's all kind of come to fruition where I have like my own academy now, right? So where I'm kind of getting back to where I thought I would have been 18 years ago.
Well, doing the Dreamers podcast for so long, I've learned that the people that I've connected the most with are the people that are doing something in the vein of what they wanted to be when they were a kid. Like in my case, I wanted to be a child psychologist. And then when I was a little bit older, I wanted to be a DJ. Guess what? I got the DJ. And I didn't realize that podcasting was going to allow me to basically not have to go to school and work with kids.
Right.
And I did that, wrote books, did talks, still open to doing talks and potentially writing a few more books. So, you don't know how it's going to work, but when you sit back and look back, you're like, oh, that makes perfect sense. I ended up right where I thought I would, 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
Exactly, right? And we're talking about building a community, right? And what I think a lot of people misconstrued about building a community, they're going to go and they're going to go, oh, well, this Facebook has 50,000 members. I'm never going to get to that. That, that could be just untrue. You could get to 150,000 members. That's fine. But it's the quality of the members and the engagement that the members get, right? Because you could have 50,000, but if only 50 of them are engaging, what's the point of having 50,000 members in your group? Just to say you have it? I don't care.
That's a great point. I was literally just watching a YouTube video earlier talking about something similar, like in a different way. They were it was the guy who did like Video Game High School. If you remember on YouTube, yeah. So he was apparently like a year ago. He was on this podcast and he was talking about it and how like you could have a billion views and it like none of that matters. It doesn't matter because if you go to Hollywood, like they don't care about any of that. All they care about is what are you going to produce now, and that's it. So in some ways, it actually like kind of sucks because like in a lot of ways you have to start from scratch and start over, and then it's just like, well, we could just kind of stay here in our YouTube like little cocoon, which I on YouTube's part is awesome, right? For them, that's like great. We have this captive audience.
That's
and
right.
This captive membership of people that just aren't going to go anywhere else because nobody cares.
And you can, and see, that's another great point too. You can build a community on YouTube. It doesn't have to be a Facebook group. It doesn't have to be a LinkedIn group. If that's where people are consuming your content, and I'm not even talking about like monetizing, but I mean, you can, but I'm talking about building a community of followers who are craving and just consuming your content. I mean, YouTube's one of the best places to do it. I mean, look at some of the people that we know in the circles, like Roberto Blake. That's where his community is. Owen Video. That's where his community is. Brian G. Johnson, that's where his community is. DSLR video shooter, that's where his community is, Caleb. Right? If nobody knows, in the green room, those are some of the best discussions going, and I was racking my brain trying to figure out that guy's name. So,
yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna look. Is he? Oh, I don't have the search up in front of me. Darn it. So, yeah. It's crazy. So you don't have to. I mean, look, one of my favorite channels is Linus Tech Tips, right? And Linus Tech Tips you go to their website, and it literally is just the message board. I mean, they kind of predate like the whole Facebook groups thing, but it's not that like we had Yahoo groups back in the day.
Yep.
And so and AOL message board type.
I used to run ads in those. That's how I got my start in digital media.
Was Yahoo groups?
Yahoo chat rooms, yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, it just depends. Like, but to get people, I think it's hard because you have to know your audience, and if your audience is if they're sitting in front of this is a tablet, not a phone, but they're sitting in front of their phone, and I just wanted to make sure no one thought that I thought that this was a phone. You're sitting in front of your phone, and it comes up in the feed, and you just keep going and interacting and all that in one easy place.
Yeah.
Versus like, okay, I got to go to a separate website, log in, and be a part of the form. It's just tough. And maybe at some point, maybe it'll come back around. Hey, what's going on, Sonia? Good to see you. Maybe at some point it'll come back around.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, if Facebook keeps up, like, what do you think of the Facebook adpocalypse that's going on right now?
All right. Without getting political or human rights, anything like that, because truth be told, I don't speak to that publicly. That's just something that I don't do.
Good.
I get why they're doing it, but let's be real about this. These major global companies that are doing a boycott, all they're doing is pressing the pause button. They are not too about to give up their largest audience channel out there. That's just not going to happen.
Assuming that the audience channel doesn't dissipate from Facebook, which doesn't seem like it is.
I was actually talking about this on a stock, because I trade stocks too, right? So I invest in the stock market or whatever. And with the whole Facebook adpocalypse, came up, and because Facebook stock was diving, which has now come back up. But they were talking about it, and somebody was stating this isn't going to be around forever. And I honestly, I'm not so certain that Facebook will be gone within the next 10 years. I think that's its life expectancy.
So you think it might be gone in 10 years?
Yeah, I think that's about its life expectancy.
Wow. And
if it's not gone, it's going to be totally different from what it is today.
Well, that is probably true, given the Oculus and the way that they've invested, in that direction of VR and stuff.
Well, what I mean by different is, let me throw something maybe that nobody else has that even tried to mention or thought of about like this. I'm not so sure that Facebook is going to be gone in 10 years. When I mean different, I mean totally different. I think there's going to be Facebook politics, Facebook sports, Facebook religion. I think they're actually just going to branch out, and everybody's going to go to whatever Facebook they like.
Yeah, they might have to. And by the way, Sonia, good morning.
And the reason I say that, Joe, honestly, is because of what we're talking about right now on building communities. Everybody's building their own Facebook group. So you have a Facebook group for politics, or you have a Facebook group for podcasting. So there'll be Facebook podcasting. There'll be Facebook live streaming. So you'll go to the Facebook that you want to know about instead of having to go to one and try to sift through all the noise that's already out there. So I think it's going to be more geared toward the way that Facebook groups are set up than one just mega website called Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like Reddit does it. I mean, even with message boards, going back to the day, you know, you had the different like the different boards within the site, and then you go under the general one, and under general they'll have like the politics one. You go under tech, they'll have like maybe monitors, like laptops will have its own board. So it's I totally. It would not surprise me, because I feel like they're trying to like curate your content as it is, and I feel like you're right. I think they're going to get to the point where they realize we're like, maybe we can't do a good enough job of this.
Right. And the reason I say this, and the reason that I bring that up, and I bring that up very rarely actually, because I kind of want to, I'm going to do videos on it like down the road. So be like, I said this 5 years ago, but just take a look at the way that you can sort Facebook on your phone. You can sort it by groups. You can sort it by newsfeed. You can sort it by whatever. So they're already kind of moving in that general direction, because the first thing that I do in the morning when I look at Facebook is I go and sort by groups, because that's where I know that the material and the content that I want to see resides in the groups. Then I'll go check my newsfeed and all that good stuff. But I want to be more involved in the groups because it's very specific, industry related, niche related, because, I have other interests outside social media. Go figure, right? So, I'm a member of Disney Annual Pass, Facebook groups, Disney parks, anything like that. So I can quickly sort it by groups and see what I want to see and see what I want to interact with. That's why I see Facebook going to more of that in the future.
Yeah. I mean, it's really surprising. Like somebody, so somebody I know posted a picture of somebody that was having like it was like a kind of a racist thing that they were saying to somebody I went to school with, and the person that I went to school with like didn't scratch the name out well enough, so I was like, oh great, I get to go now. I'm going to go to that person and I'm going to unfriend them, because I really didn't know them anyway. Right. But my point to that was, when I started looking at their feed, I'm like, none of this comes up on my feed. Like my feed is like mostly positive, and filled with things that the people that I really care about and interact with the most, and like none of this stuff is there. And that's the beauty. As much as people don't like the Facebook algorithm, that is the beauty of the Facebook algorithm, because you control what your newsfeed looks like. Yeah, but here's the thing though. I had seen the post that he was posting, I would have probably just unfriended him, because I ain't dealing with any of this. Like,
but you more likely will not see that, because that's not the content that you're sharing.
Right, but somebody can see my friends list, and then they can be like, "Hey, you're friends with so and so," and they are like super off the deep end with what they believe. And it's not okay. Like, it's just to the point that it's not okay. Yeah.
I throw unfriend and block parties once a week, man.
When people say on block parties, Daniel Tosh doing the block party. You ever see him dancing? He's like, "You're blocked." And he's just like, "Play the music."
That's right. Dude, his segments back in the day when it was twitting by, that was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I used to love those. Because he would just put like one sentence and then it would just go from there.
Yep.
Hey, he built his community on social media before he got big. So
yeah, I guess he did. I mean,
because he's from around the Orlando area.
Mm-hmm.
So.
He is. I guess his show's not taping right now. I haven't seen any new episodes.
I haven't either, but I don't think a lot of things are taping.
Yeah, well, his show is like if Stephen Colbert or John Oliver, they can figure out how to film in their own house. Like I mean, I'll never forget that was it Stephen Colbert or one of them was like filming in their hallway, or it was Seth Meyers, I think, filming in his hallway or something, and just like, oh, so the next episode, like, so people told me that it wasn't a good idea to film in a very echoey hallway. Like, no, you think like
right? I know. You know who does a good job, and I don't particularly watch his show because I don't find his style very appealing. But Jimmy Kimmel's home setup looks darn good.
Really, I haven't seen any of his videos show up in my feed. I don't really
It was
like
good.
Jimmy Fallon's probably the closest thing I like to
Yeah.
that style, with the exception of John. I love John Oliver, but with the exception of him, like yeah, Jimmy Kimmel a little bit, but I don't find any of that really that funny.
No, I don't
Personally,
either. But when I saw it, like when all this first started happening and I saw the struggles that everybody, I'm
look
like,
him up.
you see, it's not as easy as people might think it might be.
Right. Well, that's what I always trying to remind people when they're like, "Well, how do I get like, this TV show like how do I get their quality and how do I get this set up?" And it's like, did you see the credits? Did you watch to the end of the show? Because
Yeah.
there is a whole ton of people
Yep.
that are there to make that happen. It doesn't happen by accident. So
Nope.
you got to have a lot of skills and a lot of education and a lot of making mistakes to get to that point. Or you need to
Exactly.
have like 50 like 200 people on your staff that you put in the credits at the end of the show. Like come
Yep.
on, it's not even real.
And like you, I'm pretty sure you're the same as me. I'm a one-man show, right?
Ding
So
ding, yeah,
I'm
ding
doing
ding
the
to that.
graphics, I'm doing the lighting, I'm doing the audio, I'm doing all the switching, I'm doing everything, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm switching the banners. I'm putting up the comments from the Brent Bashams of the world.
I could just have a couple dragons like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe one that precise would be nice. Yeah, well, especially living down in Georgia and Florida, I don't blame you. Let's take that before we break here for a second. Let's take Sonia's question.
Yeah.
How to structure podcast or live streaming from zero, so no need to repurpose it for monetization like many people do today. I don't think I understand the question. Do you?
I'm not.
understand the question?
Yeah, I saw it over there, and I was kind of glancing over to read it because I didn't understand it. Because at first I thought she was saying, "Can you monetize from zero?" And yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you don't have to have monetization to monetize something. That's a big like misconception, especially on platforms like YouTube, where you have to have like 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of watch time. I make money off my YouTube channel, and I don't even have 500 subscribers.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not. So I think how to structure a podcast or live streaming from zero. So no need to repurpose it for monetization like many people do today. Sonia, can you elaborate a little bit on that as far as like, so you want to start live streaming, as in you don't have anybody watching or in a group, I guess. But elaborate on that for me for a little bit there, and we'll come back to it. In the meantime, what do I want to talk about? Eddie, I'm building the super circle, the supercharge your podcast private community, which it's a little bit of a departure from like IndiePod and what was originally MapCon, and like everything's under one umbrella, and this is still under that umbrella of IndiePodCon. It's like for people that want that next step. And I think one of the things that I've been trying to wrap my head around as I'm trying to think of like ways to add more, and I hate the cliched, like add more value. Everything's got to be value. Like, you know what I think of that when people say that, I think of, and I mean, are you from Florida?
I am actually, yeah.
You are? Wow, that's actually surprising because not many people will say that. I think of this. I think of Value City.
Oh yeah.
Which, have you ever been in the Value City?
Yeah.
It's not great. It's probably like a Big Lots, but from a different era.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that was a Value City.
That's pretty much what they all look like these days.
Yeah, right.
Closed.
Closed. Yep. So, actually, when I was little, I did go into a Value City, and I remember buying a gaming chair. It was probably in like 98 or 97 or something like that. It was like a rocking gaming chair that had built-in speakers like behind your head for surround sounds. It was really, I kind of wish I still had it. It was it was hard plastic.
Wow.
Like clamshelled down so you could like take it with you.
I know the chair you're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah. I wonder if I'm not even gonna bother looking it
They
up. But anyway,
probably go for like $1,000 now on eBay.
probably. I'm so and mine. I remember mine not working that well after like I don't know,
The first
like a
hour.
month or two. Yeah, it was like it just stopped working very well. Um, what was I to say? So that store was chock full of value. Yes, Brad.
Oh
Ding
yeah,
ding. Hashtag value city, more value or not.
yeah. Add the
Um,
value. Add more value. More value.
all the value. You act now. Value, value.
Yeah.
It's a
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
oh, was it that Mac versus PC commercial
Oh my God.
with
Yeah.
the what's it Windows 7 or was it Windows Vista versus
Vista,
where he's
but
just like
which was
holding
just
up
a,
the
I'm
signs.
sorry, Windows Vista was just a pile of trash. But
It was not. I just stuck with Windows XP until Windows 7 eventually
yeah,
weaned me over, and then eventually Windows 10 weaned me over. Not that you had much of a choice at a certain point, but
no.
anyway, trying to figure out, trying to figure out like, okay, so I'm gonna bring these people in, and the goal right out of the gate, right, is for them to 10x what they're paying.
Right.
So it's like I'm not promising millions of dollars. I hope that you get there. I'm hoping that I can build the platform for you, to get you, to hold you up and get you there. But at least out of the gate, like that's the plan. So, but the thing is what I'm struggling with a little bit is like everybody's coming in a different place, right?
Mhm.
They're all coming in. Some people are already making some money. Some people aren't making money. Some people have a community. Some people have been podcasting, but they're like, "Am I doing it right? I don't have like a cohesive
Mhm.
group of people." And I've been there, right? The Dreamers
Yeah.
podcast was a mess as far as like like there was a community around it, but it wasn't like a community around it. Like it
Right.
wasn't cohesive enough to like be able to do that. And Brent says value does not equal ROI necessarily.
Right.
No, I agree. I agree. And part of my thing was like, building a community that's like $100 a month, right? Which I don't think is that much. When people tell me that their cable bills are $200-300 a month, it's like, well,
Yeah. I
like,
don't know.
and what are you getting out of that versus what we're gonna do and do for you here?
Yeah.
But like, what do you think as far as like getting people into a cohesive, like, here's the starting point. Here's where
Mhm.
I think that we should start, like, super high level or a little more deeper, or like super deep. Like we're going right into it as if you have already been like full on board, or maybe I need to like scatter, and do like little bits and pieces. I don't know.
All right, so this is what I was gonna. This is what just me just spitballing and brainstorming here out loud, right?
That's what
So
this is all about, man.
exactly. So I love the fact that you're going to have an aspect of your community that says, okay, if you're just starting, this is where you need to be. If you already have a podcast with some following, this is where you need to be. It almost needs to be set up in levels, right? To where I mean, you can just call it silver, gold, platinum, whatever you want to call those levels. So you can have the people that are just coming in and go, okay, I need to start here from square zero, right? How do I even start a podcast? Do I need to register a domain name? How do I do that? I mean, some of this simple stuff that we take for granted that we just know how to do, a lot of people do not know how to do. If they're making this a legitimate business, they need to know you need to go to your local tax creditor and get a business license, a tax license, right? Or your business tax receipt. You need to register an LLC if you're going to start making money off of it. Do you need to register a fictitious name? So all these are going to fall under like the beginner kind of bucket, right? If they already have some of this, maybe they can go up to the next level, and maybe that costs a little bit more. That's up to you. And they don't start out you don't need to tell them how to just Google, registerdomain.com or whatever. So they already know how to do it. So you can go, okay, this is how you sign your first brand deal, or this is how you put your podcast out on more platforms. And maybe you didn't even know how to do that. And then you have another level that people are already getting brand deals, but what they want to do is get those high dollar brand deals. So you can skip the first two steps altogether, and then you bring them in at like the premium price to go, here's the email templates that you send to Apple to get a brand deal with Apple. I'm just using them as an example because they're a high level company. I think you can look at it like that. Another way that you could do it, and I'm just going to kind of give you an example. This is how I structure one of my community websites is, you can pay the monthly fee, and let's just call it $100 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can get access to every single course, every download that I have, every audio file, whatever. Or if you only need certain pieces, like say you only need to know how to run a competitive analysis on your social media channels, you can purchase that course one off for insert dollar amount here. If you're going to do a monthly thing, and if you're going to it's going to be a beginner and an intermediate and an advanced, especially when you're talking about the beginners, I think you're going to be so overloaded with information and a lot of content. You almost want to look at it as a drip campaign to where maybe you only let them look at something like once every 2 weeks, right? So you're going to start with video 1. The next month, you're going to drop another video. The next month, you're going to drop another video. Now, they can always go back and watch those first 2 or 3 videos, but there's a natural progression and there's a natural flow to everything. So you're basically giving them a roadmap to success. And I think that's what people are looking for, especially when they're just beginning.
Yeah. It seems like let's see. It seems like both Brad, Heather agree. Like a roadmap, beginner to advanced.
Yeah.
Brent says, "Do you use WordPress to host your courses?"
I don't.
Yeah, I do. I
use Squarespace.
You Squarespace. Okay, so I use WordPress, and that's how I built the Indie Pod University, where you have access to 120 plus
and
hours.
See, and that's something else that you can cover in your community is what's going to work best for you. If you're so, really beginner at building websites, something like WordPress is incredibly easy because it's just drag and drop, right? It's pretty simple to use. If you're a little, and I'm not comparing us, so don't get that the wrong way. But if you're a little more advanced and a little coding and things like that, maybe Squarespace is something because you can drop a lot of code blocks in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that doing setting up like a grid of like, hey, this is a beginner, intermediate, advanced, expert level or something that in fact I think will actually really help. In fact, I was laughing about because I threw this picture up on the side. Yeah. Like, so let me see here. Where am I at? So I'm literally going to write that down right now.
And I've seen success both personally and courses because when I started putting together my academy, I actually joined other ones to see how theirs was done, right? Because I wanted to see what worked, maybe what didn't work, what I can improve on, what I could maybe take some ideas away from. And one thing that I found that a lot of people actually like is the workbook mentality, right? So they're watching my video courses, and in the video course, it's kind of laid out like you got all the information over here, the videos over here, and it's got a download and resource section underneath the description. And it's got a workbook, and you can print it out or you can use the PDF because it's an editable, easy for me to say, PDF. So when they're watching each video, there's a section in the workbook that they actually physically complete. So when they're done with that section, when they're done with the entire course, they have a workbook set up ready to go and they can implement into that business right then.
Yeah. That actually is a really great idea. I have to write that down. Well, because I'm trying to structure content because like I want people, I don't want people to feel gypped and in the sense of like I'm giving more too much content away in the free one and they're not getting enough in the paid one. So like I'm trying to come up with ways that like I wouldn't feel that I could, well, at least I could keep replicating, because part of the, I guess ultimately, I think ultimately what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the streams into Facebook, and then put those videos into a private membership, like, because I have like multiple levels, categories.
Yeah, I do as well. Yeah,
in WordPress. So like I'll do that and put it in there so that like, if you sign up for Indie Pod University, you won't have access to that stuff. But if you sign up for the Super Circle, you get access to Indie Pod University. You just don't get so, and then I can do categories from that kind of and kind of structure them as I build it out. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Brent is saying,
and then you can use the free community to drive people to the paid community. That's the thing, right? It's almost, and I hate to use this terminology, the bait and switch, because it's not really a bait and switch. It's more of a hook and then reel them in, basically. So, you can have like a video course that you're putting out to be like, okay, this is the audio interface that you need to be using if you're at this level. Let me talk about it right now just for a few minutes, and you kind of go into it and go, if you want to learn how you can really step up your audio gain, click the link in the description, almost going full YouTuber there. And that drives them to the website to go, okay, I really need to know how this works. Enter my credit card information.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Real quick, Charlie asked a question about Facebook. Is it still penalizing users who try to post a YouTube link embedded in a Facebook post these days?
You know what it is, Charlie? It's not really that they're penalizing you per se, but they're just like any other social platform. They want to keep you on platform. So unless people are sharing and commenting about that link you're posting, the algorithm is going to beat it down. And it doesn't really necessarily mean that they're beating it down because it's an external link. It means it's beating it down because people aren't interacting and engaging with it. So an easy trick is, instead of putting the link in the original post the title up there, then the photo, and then put the link in the first comment, because then it's almost tricking the algorithm that somebody has commented on your video already.
So, okay, so you're saying put the photo in and then put the link in the comments.
Yeah.
And, I've wanted to do tests myself, because that actually brings up a great question. Is Facebook penalizing you when you say link below? Are they looking for that to say like, oh, you're trying to
put link below. I honestly just put the title of the video in the post. I put my thumbnail as the picture, and then everybody knows that the link is going to be in the first comment.
Okay, but I'm wondering if Facebook will pick up on that eventually as well.
Again, you can play the algorithm. It's all about playing the algorithm, and they want to see that engagement. And the way that the ranking signals work in this order, this is what the algorithm ranking signals want to see. They want to see shares first. They want to see comments, and then they want to see likes. Reactions are actually very low in the algorithm ranking signals. They want to see shares and comments, because they know that's what your friends list, the people that you are friends with on Facebook, are talking about, and that's what's going to drive it up in the news feed. So you want to see shares and comments, number one, number two.
That makes a lot of sense. Because it's easy for me to just like, and it shouldn't move the needle.
And truth be told,
much.
the way that the algorithm works, it looks at reactions. Like if you're just clicking like and not like the long hold and getting a reaction, because a like and a reaction are actually two different things. I know a like is a reaction.
Too.
I know a like is a reaction, but it's not really. But
right, well, because it's right there. It's right there versus like taking that extra second and then. Am I the? Here's a question for anybody in the chat. Am I the only person that when I comment on something, I immediately go to the dots and turn off notifications?
Really?
Every time. Every time, because I don't need to see 1,000 notifications in my feed.
So when I'm doing a social media, like I'm analyzing someone's channel, like I'm doing a channel review, a page review or something for them, and I look at it, I actually have my own ranking signal, like my own scoring system for it. And this is the way that I do it. I just made one in a Google sheet, and every share that a post gets, I give them 10 points. Every comment is 5 points, and every like is 1 point. That's how I grade mine. And you can actually see it. I mean, I've actually even displayed this in one of my Facebook groups, in the DMCA group, and I've showed where a particular post has like 50 likes and 1 comment, and it reaches, let's say, 500 people. But I have another one that has 4 shares, and it reaches 5,000 people. It wants to see those shares.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, shares, and it's hard to sometimes get people to share things.
Of course it is.
But they'll share the stupid memes.
That's why they're ranked the highest.
Yeah, I know. It gets frustrating. Like you didn't know that person had made that meme. What was the point of sharing that? But you shared that.
It's so funny. It's like the stuff, like the content that you craft to be like really graphically balanced, and the colors that you're using are correct, and even the font and the copy choice that you're using in the graphic. It'll get like 4 likes and 1 comment, and then you post some random meme like a GIF or something that's just really blurry, and it gets like 50 shares. You're like, really? Come on.
I know, it's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating.
That's why they pay people like me.
To get back to Sonia's question, she said, "Oh, people change their podcast or live streaming to monetize it on purpose." Yeah. I mean, it does. I think it depends on the person and cause, like one of my friends. Oh crud! I'm blanking on his name. I can see his face. He does the Trivial Warfare show. He's in your neck of the woods.
I know who you're talking about.
Jonathan Oakes. Anyway, he went and was like, "Oh, we do one episode a week, So he's like, "But we're gonna take one episode a month, and we're gonna put it behind the paywall."
Right.
And he got like the nastiest letter written to him that like, "How dare you?" And you're terrible, and you're the worst person on the planet.
Of course you are.
Like Jonathan Oakes is one of the nicest people on the planet. Like for real. And that's absolutely horrible that somebody would be so vain and so like ridiculous, over the top ridiculous, to write a letter about how disapproving they are of like, oh, well, it's going to cost me like $5 or something to get that extra episode a month. How dare you?
Right. By the way, he's the same guy that's paying $250 for his phone, like every month. Right. So I saw something down there, Heather Bayer. I hope I'm saying that right, Bayer.
Yeah.
Now, what makes a post shareable? And I love Brent when that's the $1 million question, and that's fine. But this is what makes a post shareable, right? So anytime that you're crafting a piece of content, it doesn't matter what platform it's on. It could be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. You need to hit one of these 4 E's. So write this down. So your content either needs to be engaging, it needs to be educational, it needs to be emotional, or it needs to be entertaining. And the reason that I say that it needs to be emotional is that emotions, and I have this actually written down because I wanted to get it right. So emotions drive people to action. Those actions make us laugh, they make us shout, they make us feel sad, they make us talk, share, and most importantly, they make us even buy stuff. So rather than create content with statistics or dry information, focus on the feelings of your audience when creating your content, because using those triggers in your content cue people to talk, choose, and most importantly, share and buy. Good content gets their attention. However, triggers keep them talking. Top of your audience's mind leads to the tip of their tongue and posting about it on their friends list on social media.
Write that down. Oh,
I typed that out before I came on because I knew it would come up and I knew I wanted to say it the way that I wanted it worded.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I love it. Sonia says, do we need to mention on the course for beginner, intermediate, etc.? Because I only mention what you can learn on the course. I'm making about productivity. I need to connect productivity with digital transformation. Any ideas?
I am assuming...
It's hard to say because my version of beginner is different from a different person's beginner. Like, am I using the mouse? Am I using the mouse right? Am I using it? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Click the start button. What is the start button? I don't see it. Look, you have this little like white box in the bottom of the thing. I don't know computers, man. Like, right. Well, then what are we talking about here? Like, and that's a real conversation.
And I'm assuming that she's talking about her own course, not like your course that you're on.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I think so.
Right?
Sure. Yep.
So she's making courses about productivity, and she needs to connect productivity with digital transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I need like birds tweeting above my head.
No big deal. No pressure.
I know, but I'm trying to get the correlation of the productivity into digital transformation because I'm not exactly sure what she means by digital transformation.
I'm gonna guess
productivity is easy. I get that one, but
like not checking your email first thing in the morning, or at least developing your own routine. I would think, right. Where like if checking your email is your jam, like that's your first thing in the morning, then that's fine.
What she's talking about. If that's what she's talking about, so do we need to mention the course for beginner, intermediate, etc.? Yes, because a lot of beginners, they're going to need that initial structure in their life, right? They're going to need to know, okay, from 8 a.m. to 8:10, you're going to check emails. From 8:10 to 8:30, you're going to update your social media feeds, so on and so on. So yes, so for them to be productive into that digital transformation, the beginner's course, yeah, they're going to need that structure. Now, when you get to a little more intermediate level, which hopefully the beginners become the intermediate and they already have this checklist that you've created, or maybe even a workbook, you never know. So when they get to that intermediate level, they're already having that productivity into their digital transformation, into their business. So I hope perhaps that's what you're talking about.
I think so. And Heather Bear asked, "What can you say the 4 E's again?" I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
Oh, do it.
Engaging, emotional, educational, entertaining. Did I get it
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I wrote that down.
Yes. They work. Believe me, they work.
You know what? And it makes perfect sense. Because that is I mean, one of the biggest. It's still funny though, like, because people like. So, like, one of the biggest videos I've ever done has, I don't know, like 11,000 views or something like that, which is not, I mean, the grand scheme of things is not a lot. But it was the announcement video for our daughter 4 years ago. We did an announcement video parody of Who's the Boss, the intro of the TV show. And coincidentally, I was at PodFest, and somebody that I know was like, I haven't seen this person in like 4 or 5 years. And they're like, you know what? I remember your video. I loved that video that you guys did, because I loved Who's the Boss.
The brand new life around the bend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we shot it pretty much shot for shot. And
really,
awesome.
It's
I'll send it to you. It's fun.
And you know why? Because it was emotional and entertaining.
Yes, but it still didn't get as many shares, and I'm thinking is because it didn't have not as many people are connected to Tony Danza as I am here in the Northeast, right? Like, it's just different.
I remember when he used to own a professional inline hockey team called the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
Oh, he was. I didn't know that he was that.
Yeah.
I went to a couple of those games as a kid.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. They only lasted like maybe 3 years. 4
Yeah,
years?
if that league wasn't around very long.
No, it's sad because I mean, I played roller hockey.
I did as well in that league, actually.
Yeah. Oh, really? You played in that league?
Yeah.
Was that wasn't like that was post like where they had like the ramp on the behind?
No, that was
net,
pre.
Right? That was pre behind.
Yeah, this league was the league that I'm talking about with the Bulldogs was Roller Hockey International, or RHI. That's what it was.
Oh yeah. I remember that. I think I went to like one game. I think I'm looking it up now. Bulldogs, Philly.
Either he was the owner or had like a majority share stock in it or whatever, but he was a big part of them, I think.
For anybody that doesn't know what the heck we're talking about, because if you're not from the Philly area.
There it is.
Founded in 1994, folded in 1996. I definitely went to.
Oh, it was. It even says it right there. The Bulldogs were owned by Ron Salser and Tony Danza.
Wow, that's so cool. I didn't realize that Tony Danza was that person. Was one of the owners. No, that's so cool. It's like Bon Jovi with the Philadelphia Soul.
That's right. Yeah,
he was. I remember seeing him at a few games during the inaugural season. So he says, "Thank you, SpongeBob and Patrick." Yeah. So as far as that, but I just, like I said, I don't think people had the emotional attachment to it as some other things, because I remember, like, after I made it, I remember watching some of these other, like, oh, we made the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like the wedding announcement, and I'm like, this is terrible. Like, they're literally just sitting in a car talking, like, basically, like,
when I'm emotional, I mean, people have an emotional attachment to when people are talking about children, right? So especially like new parents, right? That's the emotional tie-in that was going with there.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm wonder if I can actually find it. Who's the
Is it on your YouTube channel?
I think it's on my old YouTube channel. It doesn't have as many views there as it does on Facebook. Facebook has way more.
That's funny. I actually quit uploading my videos to Facebook because they got nothing there.
Really?
Yeah. It's so funny how my content works on different platforms. Like live streaming, Facebook is everything. I tried to go live on YouTube for a long time, and I just never got any traction there. My pre-recorded and edited videos blow up on YouTube, and they do nothing on Facebook. So,
that's so weird. Yeah, so it was, that was my golf TDI that I ended up turning turning in. There's my neighbor on his scooter. But yeah, it was like is trying to
There's
recreate
Angela.
the whole thing. Yeah, right. But well, wow, it has
Wow.
874 views here on YouTube as well. How about that? This is
Yeah,
like
I remember all this now.
Yeah.
Did you put the music in there too?
Yeah, the music is in there. I'm not sharing the music at the moment, but yeah.
I was gonna say please don't. I was like, that's the fastest way to get your stream shut down.
Right? Yeah. Well, fortunately, the Jeopardy music hasn't done that for me yet.
I
But
think
yeah,
I
and
think
we
a lot
had
of
a
people use
podcast
it,
around
right?
it too.
Birthdaypodcast.com. You still have it?
I do. Well, so it was basically a documentary following my wife and I and talking with our parents and our friends leading up to our journey of having our first kid. So there's like 40 some episodes. If you want an idea of what Joe watches, here's a good idea of what Joe watches on YouTube. We did it, and we was like 30 some episodes.
God, some of those thumbnails were garbage. Sorry.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Some of those thumbnails were awful.
Right? Like, all right. So which ones are awful to you?
To me, the one that has the big blue dot in it, I can't even read it.
This one?
Yeah.
It has 19,000 views.
I know. I don't get it.
I don't get it either, right? So it's a pregnancy announcement from 2017. Oh, Call Me Maybe parody.
There. Well, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Is it? Is that the
can't
song
hear
that goes, "Just call me maybe"? Is that one? Is that what they're talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
So they have 1,500 subscribers.
So on the next hour of Super Joe News podcast,
Right?
we're going to be reviewing YouTube channels.
Well, yeah, but even this, well, there's so much you can learn from YouTube as a podcaster, right? And that's what I try to like show people constantly is like, like, look, so there's PewDiePie's face, right? Like most of them have faces in them. Because like I remember I was talking with my co-host of the Business Geeks podcast, and Samantha Riley, and she's like, well, yeah, I was like, I'm curious, like, how many facial reactions is Joe gonna have on all of his his thumbnails? And I'm like, a lot. And I shared my screen. I was like, look, this is what's happening.
Of course, everyone has this one
right now. Yeah, right.
That's like the thumbnail pose.
Well, it's funny. Like, so PewDiePie, if you don't know, is the most subscribed to YouTuber on outside of T Series, which apparently they hey, what's up, Steven? Hope you enjoyed your barbecue. It was the most subscribed to YouTuber outside of T Series, and he actually went on strike at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at let me go. Oh, these are great. People are recreating the what's that thing? Coco Melon.
Yeah,
Coco Melon intros with PewDiePie. It's because Coco Melon is actually catching up to PewDiePie as far as subscribers go.
Yeah.
And it's crushing him in the views. But so if you go to video, and
which is funny because some of his thumbnails aren't. But you know what? Once you're that big, it doesn't even matter. You could literally upload just a black thumbnail, right? It would just be a black rectangle, and it would still get 10 million views.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's that big. I mean, so my point was at one point he went on strike because he was like, I'm tired of making all these reactions. So like, see here, okay, here you go, boom, same face, same face, same face.
Yep.
Same face, same face, same face, same face, same face, same face, same face.
Yeah.
Like, he just went on strike for a while.
There's like 25 of them where he's doing the same, just kind of.
Yep, and they just like put the hand in front of it or whatever, and But I guess he's out of that. Like, but it just goes to show you like it matters. Like these people and the way I talk about it when it comes to relating it back to podcasting is your title of the episode, right? Like nobody cares that it's episode 402 or 89. Like they care about what am I going to get out of this? Like, and in the fewest amount of characters I have to read to make that decision.
Yep.
So,
and then there's the other side of it to where you're titling for search. Or are you titling for, for lack of a better term, value, right? So
yeah, Yeah, and that's a difficult thing. So like if I look at like Linus Tech Tips, right? Like his channel is for like basically for his audience, right?
Mhm.
Like that's but if you go to like Tech Quickie, which is as tech as fast as possible, it's all search terms. Like it's all like what are people searching for? Their
Yep.
most popular video is explaining the difference between a Core i3 and a Core i5 and a Core i7 processor for computers. Like that's the most like clicked on video because people that's what people are searching for, and he's
Yeah.
right there with it.
And you have to
So
understand that if you're building your channel to be search heavy, like all about SEO, your title better just be those keywords. And honestly, it has nothing to do. Almost sometimes it has nothing to do with your video. Like it just doesn't. But
yep.
you're trying to be SEO, which to me, I see the benefit of it, but I think it's counterproductive. I'd rather title the video like, I hate to use how to in anything, but how to tie your tie. People search for that, but it's also the title of the video. So that's a win-win in both sides. But you're either titling for value or you're titling for search.
Yeah, and it's tough because like you could look at somebody that's like, oh, they have millions and millions of views, but they only have like maybe 5,000 subscribers or 8,000 subscribers or something like
Yeah.
that because their goal is not to get that many subscribers. Their goal is getting those views and getting the monetization that
Yeah.
way. So
It's
it
funny
just
because I
depends.
have the watch time for monetization, but not the subscriber count.
Yeah, I don't have the subscriber count, and I actually don't have the watch time yet either. I'm building it. I've got 360 subscribers, but it's still slow going. Even though I'm uploading daily. Like this show is going to be
Right.
right on YouTube within under an hour of
Right.
us ending it, whenever that whenever that is.
Brad, that's an interesting thing.
So Brad says name the upload file same as keyword phrase you're targeting. Well, you can put it in the description too, and like kind of put I assume
Yeah,
it's
there's
looking
a
at the
lot to be
description.
said for having the title of your video or the keywords in the title of your video in your description.
Yeah. Yeah.
It needs
Oh,
to be there.
definitely.
I've never really thought about the upload file name because I name my files weird anyway for other like people don't know. It's like EG32 and then like the date. Like that. I mean, because I just come from like a very organized folder background. And like that's how I name files.
Yeah. Well, my with the podcast episodes eventually they just get like S for Super Joe Pardo, and
Yeah.
then the number of the episodes. It'd
Mine's
be the
literally
regular.
like EGYT 0326722, like for whatever. That's just how
I
I name them.
applaud your organization skills. I like it. I like it a lot.
I do. You know where it comes from? I used to work for a software company. And when I first worked for them, I was working in their support department. So when I would have to log into other people's machines and try to go through their file structure, which they had no structure, I'm like, oh my God, I'm never doing this again. So I just learned how to do proper filing structures.
No, I could show you my server files, and it definitely is. I try to keep it as organized as
Yeah.
possible, but then I always end up with those straight files that like end up in the main directory, and I'm like, all right, I need to like take some time and just figure out where it needs to
I
go.
was
But
I
then it's
was
like,
looking for something the other day, like just some random file that I didn't know where I saved it because I was just like Control S and I thought I was in the right folder, but I wasn't. And then like 6 months go by and I find this random video. Like I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I even recorded that. It wasn't good, by the way. So
oh. So yeah, so I mean, there's just the point being is there's a lot to learn from how they're doing their YouTube stuff,
yeah,
and and honestly, I think thumbnails have gotten better over the last like year or so. Like, yeah, there's a lot of silly ones still, like James's like
those are fine.
face
No,
right here,
but that fits
but
with
it's still
everything that
way
he's
better than
doing.
it was like 2 years
Yeah,
ago. 2 years
yeah,
ago, it was like ridiculous, like how bad the thumbnails were.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's definitely interesting to see the evolution of like this is a thumbnail from 8 years ago,
Yeah, and I'm not even sure
11
what.
million views. He was explaining it I think The Verge like had him come on and like answer comments from his like oldest videos or something, or
Uh,
like a handful of videos, and one of it was like what was up with the so basically Arctic Cooling, I think it was. They created a whole bunch of like crappy toys and sent it to him, and we're like, "This is the Arctic Cooling fire truck," and he's like, "What? This has nothing to do with like a CPU cooler. Like what? Why?" And
Yeah.
then, but it's got 11 million views, probably because it's so off the wall for his
Right.
brand, right? So
8 years ago.
yeah. Yeah. So and there's a whole that's one thing I wish I was a little better at doing like thumbnails like these guys. But some of it's like it's so
Well,
odd.
bring yours
like,
up. Bring yours up. Let's critique them.
Oh, you want to critique? Okay, yeah,
Why not?
why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. Where's my channel?
It's upper right hand corner.
Burned in the fire. It's gone. It's gone. It's all gone.
Let's see. I like your channel art. It's fine.
Well, thank you. So shout out to Larry Roberts because he did this this awesome banner at the top and all that.
And
so,
it looks to be done for mobile friendly because if I looked at it on my phone, I could still see you on the right hand side. Correct?
Yep. Yeah. He specifically because if I had to do it, I would not. It wasn't like that. It wasn't that good.
Yeah. No.
Prior, but like so. All right. So here's some of my. Let's see. Full screen here. Trying to make it at least so I get the reaction. I got the big words. The biggest words I can get for
What
the most
font
part.
is that?
This is, I don't know.
Well, it's funny that like the negative space is filled in on those letters.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just thought it looked neat, and I was like, it says it's like in the comments too, or it's in the title too. So I was like, I'm not. Oh, it's called Blackout Midnight.
Okay.
Now, for anyone that doesn't know, I use Relay that. So, which I love. Craig.
I know who got to develop that.
Yeah, Craig. Right.
Craig. Yeah.
Craig's great. Craig Carpenter. It drives me up a wall sometimes because like all I work in is YouTube at this point, and like, why is this the first thing I'm seeing when I load up? Well, like I'm not doing anything but YouTube set night 1280 by 720. That's what I'm doing. And I gotta like go back every
for whatever
time.
reason. I don't know why.
And so I gotta go there and then like so like I could do something like that, but then I feel like it's kind of hard to read. So I was like, okay, I'll just roll with that. So yeah, so that's
as long as you can read it.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So some of the like when I do these interviews, I use something like this where it can show both depending on the pictures and the sizing and the cropping of the photos. Like sometimes I'll use this, sometimes I'll use this. This is just me playing some games because I also live stream. I have a bunch of playlists set up, so it's all I used to want to be like, oh, I'm gonna do like this gaming with Super Joe Pardo, and I actually created a Facebook page and I was streaming to it, and it was just like. It's all just me. Like I'm talking about the things I'm talking about pretty much all the time. So I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to, people that are going to identify with me and what I do are going to identify with the fact that like I play video games too. It's Look, gaming mouse. I'm the gamer, right? Like,
I just started redoing all my thumbnails like a few months back. So.
Oh, how many videos do you have?
I don't even know. Like 60 or 70.
So, that's it? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I think I'm up to... Hold on, I'm going to look it up. But I think... I want to say I'm at like 900 some videos.
Oh, I went through like a cleansing of my YouTube. I went in there, and if anything didn't have... Not older videos. If no older videos had 100 views, I just delete... I didn't delete them. I archived them or whatever. Like turn them to private.
Really?
Truth be told, I really don't even know how many videos I got up there. I'm shooting another one tomorrow, but...
Let's see. This says there's like 130, but that is like totally wrong. Because also the course, like the indie pod use in there too, so it doesn't know. But I'm like 90. Or can you just go to the about page? Does that show it there? It doesn't show you there. But I could have swore I saw somewhere upwards of like 900 some videos.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's a lot of videos, and then I have a second channel too. That's where that birth announcement was.
Oh, gotcha.
On that. Well,
like,
plus there was a time where I did. Was it back in 2017? I did a daily vlog with a business lesson in every single episode.
Yeah.
And I don't think they didn't they didn't go very far. It didn't take off like I was kind of hoping it would.
Yeah, somebody once told
Um,
me, they're like, you spend so much time at Disney. Why don't you start a YouTube Disney channel? I mean, have you seen that
me,
competition there?
me
No,
too. Oh God, yeah, I know. Me
no.
too. They were like, oh, you should have a Disney podcast show. You could be Jersey Joe talking about, and this is like 2010, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I would get bored of it. I'm sorry. It's like I would like 10 episodes in, I would get bored. Okay, so here's some older videos that I did when I was back. I guess was this when I was doing my? Oh no, this was like business with Super Joe Pardo. So this is after me doing. Where is the daily? Okay, here you go. So these are some of the thumbnails. I don't know if it
Yeah.
might be a little hard to see, but
Basically just like
um,
screen grabs from the video.
yeah, pretty much. Whatever, wherever I was making. This was funny when I lost my GoPro. That literally is the face I made because it was on my roof,
I was going to say, was it on
and
the roof of the car?
and I didn't lock it. I have it right. I have one here. Here we go. So I didn't lock because it had been a while because I had gotten like gallbladder surgery. So I popped it on the roof and I was like, yeah, that feels good enough. And then I get almost to where I'm going and all of a sudden I hear boom, boom. And I'm like, what the heck is that? I'm like, oh no, my GoPro. And I didn't have the wire, like the $10 wire attached to it to like drag it behind me or anything.
Yeah. That's what
So
saved
now, well, no, I know I lost it. I went back on the
Oh.
highway and I couldn't find it. So it was, I even pulled off to the side of the road and was trying to find it, couldn't find it. So yeah, somebody probably got themselves a free GoPro, but yeah, so so some of these videos, I mean, like you say, like the thing is when I stopped doing these videos though, I did have people reach out to me, but I was also posting them on Facebook as well. And that's where they were getting most of their views. Yeah, like it just
Yeah, I don't, like I said earlier, with
don't
with
know.
me personally, I don't know what it is. Like the edited videos just don't perform well enough for me on Facebook to even bother wasting time to upload it there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so weird. Like sometimes some
But
things are
that's what we've been talking about pretty much the entire show, is like a community, right? Where's your community going to be? And you have to understand how to set it up to where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. I hate to say it like that, but if you've got a Facebook group and that's where you're building a community, but you also need to figure out, where are you pushing them to next? Are you pushing them to your landing page to sign up for an email? Are you pushing them to your courses on a different landing page? This all plays into what you need to think about when you're building your community, because it's not just one area. It's not one platform. It needs to be multiple platforms, and you need to understand the flow structure of how that looks. And is your audience and the community you're building going to understand that flow structure?
Yeah, and it's it's also really difficult because I wonder if if I created new
Thumbnails?
if I created new thumbnails and renamed some of this so that it was more searchable, like to the
You
topics
don't
in
use
which I talked
TubeBuddy, huh?
about. I don't. I
I
have
was like, I
two
was looking. I don't
Bix.
see it over there. So
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't have TubeBuddy. I know a lot of people do.
it helps. It helps.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure.
It helps with title search and keyword search for big time there.
So I've used Tubix like I have Tubix. I've used it, but I didn't really find that I was like moving enough. Like it wasn't moving the needle enough for me to
Yeah.
like care to like even go back and use it. But your TubeBuddy actually takes place in on the YouTube
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's helpful to know because like I don't really want to have to go to another web page.
Exactly. And
like,
I mean, one big key thing too is if you're trying to get like keywords from a video that you're doing a similar video, but say like a bigger channel or somebody else in your industry is doing one, you can actually see the keyword tags that they use, copy them and paste them into your video.
oh, wow.
So you can actually
okay.
see what other people are using for their keyword tags.
Okay, so then maybe I should. I mean, like I said, I'm at 700 videos, still going. Well, then I have a lot of these videos, which actually these videos, some of them do pretty well. Like this one here, MasterChef Junior 2 season,
Yeah.
151 views. So some of those do pretty well, even though it's not static. Like there's like a
Right,
waveform
right, right,
delay
right.
kind of thing, but it might as well be static. It doesn't.
I play around with my YouTube channel all the time, like updating cover art and everything. But it's pretty much set right now. I think I like the way that it looks now. So
I just think it's so crazy that you only have like 60 videos. Like here I'm at like 950.
well, like I said, I mean, I had a bunch. I
Oh,
had
I have
like
1,000
over like
now.
200, but they just weren't performing. So I just put them to unlisted.
Oh, okay.
So like if it's just gonna clog up like what the channel looks like and it's not perform if everything's not if nobody's getting any value out of them because they're not watching them, there's no reason for them to be there.
Mm. Well, that's true. I definitely hear. Okay, here's the earliest video. It was from 2016. It was a pre-show for the Dreamers podcast that I did. Apparently,
Apparently.
yeah. Apparently, there's probably Ava's probably
You know
like
what I find funny about like my own YouTube channel is like the videos that I have that the most views on are like the ones that I like shot on my phone with like horrible lighting. Like that performs the best. Like I did a review of a battery charger, like a phone charger, like a quick charger. That
Mhm.
thing's got like 20,000 views, and I'm like, why?
Wow. Well, because
Why?
apparently nobody else probably reviewed it.
Yeah, oh no, there's a lot. But if you go and if you go to the search bar right now and type in Mophie power station, like MPF, I guarantee one of my videos will be up there. Maybe not. Apparently not. Maybe you got to put XXL in there. I don't know. I thought it was. It's one of the videos that got them. There it is, right down there.
Right here?
No, the one below it. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, you
See,
know
it's
why?
got 14,000 views.
Because I'll tell you why. Because your thing is nice. Your
But see, I haven't even used
thumbnail.
that thumbnail template in 3 years. If you go to my channel now, like none of my thumbnails look like that.
Yeah, I see that.
It's more the reaction face and big bold lettering like everybody else uses.
It's so weird. So to answer Brad's question, is it bad to use the thumbnail that YouTube sets? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Generally, yeah, pretty much. It's kind of a shame that they don't have like YouTube should like have some kind of algorithm built like AI or something. It's like, oh, this is your thing, like. Just here, put your face within this box, or just
Yep.
take a picture of yourself, and then
One thing that I'm doing on my
handle
website
it.
here pretty soon is I'm going to put together like a starter pack for people like that want to use like thumbnails that have decent looking thumbnails, but not overly graphic design where they have to worry about things, where they can put it in something like Adobe Spark or something like that, where they can drop their own text and bring in their own photo and have a legitimate, like nice looking thumbnail.
I know my friend Joey Kissimmee, who's in your area as well,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Do you know Joey?
I don't know. I know who he is, but I don't know him.
Okay. He had a thing called Tube Slicer like forever ago now. I don't know. I don't even see it. I doubt that's like yeah, that's like literally.
I don't think that's
it. But he had like like a web interface thumbnail maker app.
That's pretty cool.
That you could use. Yeah, I haven't. I don't know if he still makes it or if it's still available or whatever. But
And you can kind of see the progression of my thumbnails there.
yeah. So I don't know. To me, like I almost kind of wish I could like start over. I guess I don't know. I don't know. It's hard because I like right now I'm vlogging. So actually,
Right.
I probably should because this is like a 3-day vlog that I've been running. So I didn't hit the record button. A 3-day vlog that I've been running where because like I've only been doing little bit to like be able to show the journey of where I'm at and where I'm going and all that. So and then turning that into into podcast episodes as well. So like it's just I don't know. I guess I just gotta I don't know. It's so hard because
More value,
right? Well, you can get so much more like I don't know. I don't know if it's worth more content versus
Right.
and it's not necessarily bad content. It's just different content. So
Right.
I think one of the people was Tim Gillette asked this question during one of his conferences, and he's like, what if you had to start over like tomorrow? Like you went to like 0 Twitter, 0 Facebook, 0, and just start completely fresh over. Like, what would you do differently if you weren't known for that thing that you're already known for right now? Right?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've thought about doing like a separate technology YouTube channel. Like I want to do, and you can totally steal my idea if you want. It's called like, there's Unbox Therapy, right? With Lou.
Yeah.
So I want to do Unbox Terrible. So like instead of opening it like oh, let me like slice it open nice and open, like literally taking like a sledgehammer and like, okay, now does the product still work? How does it work? This is getting 0 out of 10, right? You're laughing like and now I have a studio. I can actually do it. But I don't know if I want to
Gallagher of unboxing videos.
Yeah, like that's like I really want to do it. Like start with like cheap like tech crap, like the $10 Bluetooth headphones or something, and just like unbox it with a axe and do it.
You can take it a step further. When you see it's delivered from Amazon, don't even pick it up. Just kick it into your door.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking that's it, because like I feel like that would take that much less time than like, okay, let me take my camera and get the B-roll.
And I could already see where some of the comments are going to go to. Oh, must be nice just to have the money to blow on breaking stuff.
Oh no. So I have a name, Eddie. Yes, right. It is Super Joe Pardo. But my friends that know me best, they call me Send It Back Joe, because I send all kinds of shit. I send all kinds of stuff back, no matter how long I've had it. Or
I will never forget that. Now instead of Super Joe, it's just going to be Send It Back Joe.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm not proud. I'm not proud of it, but I was like trying to think. Maybe you can help me, Eddie. What's the opposite of Send It Back Joe if I keep it? Because if it passes the
Hoarder Joe,
Hoarder Joe. Okay, maybe Hoarder Joe.
Super Hoarder.
Yeah. TLC is going to be writing me a check.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're getting cease and desist letters from TLC.
Well, no, but I seriously, I'm thinking about it. Like, I don't know if I have time for it, but like, I'm kind of getting excited about it. Like the idea of just like let's open stuff up the absolute worst possible way and then test it and see if it makes it, if it survives.
Do it. Live stream it.
Oh, so that's another interesting aspect. So one of the
things
that
doesn't take a lot of time because you're not going to be editing it. You're just going to be doing it.
Well, and then talking with Melissa was like, oh, you should totally do like the Send It Back Joe show, and I was like, that makes sense. But I was like, I don't want to have to edit it. Like I like editing; it's fun, but I don't want to get caught up in that. Like I edit. Excuse me. My daughter has a YouTube channel called Ava Entures, which I can totally plug right here, right now, because why not?
But that's the biggest thing about pre-recorded videos is like, okay, that's fine. I can shoot a 10-minute video in under an hour, but it's going to take me 3 hours to edit it.
Yes, it will.
I'm doing color correction and I'm making sure my jump cuts and my zooms and if I have any sound effects, and it's just like it gets so tedious after a while.
You know what? A friend of mine, John Wynn, he told me back in 2017 when I was like, all right, I'm gonna do these daily vlogs and stuff, and he's like, don't try to win the vlog game. He's like, because there's like 15 and 16-year-olds that are all they're doing is editing all day long. Like they're just coming up with ways to kick your butt all day long, up and down, with how cool their stuff can be. And there's one kid, I can't think of his name right now, but he did this video where he like took a drone shot and he like took it off and took off and took off and took off, and he like went to space with it, and then he did a behind the scenes of how he built that, and it was insane. It took him like 8 hours to do literally just that transition of like him at his car closing his lid, and then because he also like moved himself from where he was in the map, so it didn't look like you could figure out where he lived, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this kid's going to totally get a job. But here's the thing. I'm not going to get a job doing that because I'm not that interested in doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, my editing, what do you use to edit? Here's
Premiere
the
Pro.
Okay, so I use a combination of Premiere Pro, Premiere Elements, and iMovie on the Mac. Right now I'm on my Windows PC, but when I mostly edit on my Mac, I do some quick edits in Premiere Elements, and depending what I'm trying to accomplish, then I might go into Adobe Premiere Pro. But I like iMovie because I can do the quickest. Like to me, it's just like Command tilde, Command 1, Command tilde,
Yeah.
Command 1, Command tilde. Like I'm just cutting, editing, cut, delete, cut, delete, cut, delete,
Yeah.
cut, delete, cut.
I'm
Delete.
a
That's
big
it.
jump cutter. I'm a big jump cutter.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So like I don't feel like I need that level of like crazy, LUTs and all.
My
That. I'm
my
done using
editing style has
M55.
changed over like the past year, where I was watching this guy named Daniel Shifter on YouTube, and
Okay, I feel like I've seen that name.
like the way that he like structured his video, like the way that he does it. I liked it. It was like, it's like one scene will be like him pretty big, and then the next jump cut, it goes a little smaller, and then the next jump cut goes a little smaller, and then when he gets into something else, it's almost like this natural progression throughout the conversation. So I've been editing my videos more like that.
Oh, here you go. It's Aiden Robbins. That was the map zoom effect. Just so you could see what I was talking about and how cool. So 3 weeks ago, he did this shot where.
Does he go all the way to space?
Yeah, it goes all the way to space.
Does he get hit by like a Tesla rocket when it's like,
That would be
or
pretty cool.
SpaceX? Sorry.
But like, look at that! Like, look at that! And then he
Yeah.
explains like this took me like 12 hours to do.
Yeah.
and he shows exactly how he did it, which is super cool. I mean, obviously 183,000 views, and his channel
Yeah.
is now like totally blown up. But like,
Look at that timeline. Ooh.
yeah, right? So yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous how he mapped himself into a different. Like he took his neighborhood block and like placed it
Yeah.
somewhere else. In
It must be nice to have that time.
Yeah, well, yeah, when you're 15 years old or 18 years old, I don't know how old
true.
he is. He's a kid. I mean, he's like quite literally a kid. So
Yeah.
more power to him to spend the time and effort to figure all that, have the money to be able to have the drone and
Yeah.
have the time to do all of it. Like that's awesome. And more power, like I said, he totally deserves to get hired somewhere doing
Yeah.
something.
And honestly, I think a lot of these younger kids are doing it for that purpose, that very intention of having somebody seeing it and going, "Hey, we're going to hire this kid."
Yeah. Yeah, and and hopefully it works for him.
Yeah.
I haven't seen his videos show up in my feed. Let me see. Is he still making videos or? Yeah, 1 month ago. And that's one of the things too, is like you end up putting so much effort and time behind your. Oh, okay, he is. Oh, okay, weeks a day.
Yeah, weeks now. Yeah.
You start putting so much effort behind it, each episode and each thumbnail and everything. It's like
His thumbnails look good.
yeah, oh yeah, oh totally. Yeah, no, he's
Good for him.
Yeah, he's killing it. Yeah, I I don't know what else to say about it.
I've
But
never heard of him, but I'll check it out for sure.
yeah, Aiden Robbins, totally, really, really good videographer. So it's like you're not gonna get like Joe. You're not gonna compete with people like this. Like it's not gonna happen. So you gotta like compete on content. But going back to like the idea, like okay, so I was thinking like, what if I did some B-roll, right? And I used StreamYard to the overlay to like, okay, I'm talking about it and like, bam, all of a sudden now like you're seeing like the pan of the product
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yep.
I kind of think I'm thinking I might do it. Maybe I should do a pilot.
Why not?
I mean,
Test that.
I think I have the channel still already unboxed terrible, 0 subscribers.
Well,
That's okay. That's the whole point, right? Start it. Like, what if I had to start over? I don't even have a thing. It's subscribed to Games to Super Joe Pardo, which has 6 videos and 3 subscribers. So they're probably all me. They're probably all me. There's some playing with Ava. playing games. Wow, 11 months ago. It feels like forever ago. Or it feels like it wasn't that long ago that I was sending stuff there. But yeah. So sorry, you can't see.
That's okay.
But yeah. So I feel like there might be a market for this. I mean, you laughed, right?
Yeah, I think it'd be hilarious. I'd watch it.
Make it entertaining, and like I said, I have space now, so I could totally do. This is not
Yep.
a green screen at all.
But for real though, I mean, do it like you said when StreamYard, where you could film some B-roll and then do it live for like your pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
TubeBuddy has a thumbnail generator, Brad. That's correct.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing about the B-roll is I would have to shoot it like with the product open, so I have to open the product to get the B-roll. So I don't know if I could do that. Maybe I should get one of those sliders. That's a good excuse to get a slider. Yeah, you're like, yes,
slider. I've
yes,
got one.
Ding, ding. Let's
They're
go.
all the rage.
Right? So I get
the one that looks like it's got the rollerblade wheels on it, where it just kind of you just.
Well, it would be cheaper, right? Like,
not necessarily.
No,
I've seen some of them go for like $60 and $70.
Whoa! If I'm spending that much, I'm looking at like I might as well just spend like $200 and get like a
motorized one,
cheap motorized one. That probably like.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a newer, and I call it newer. I don't know why people call it newer because to me, NEE is knee. So
newer. Okay, I've never heard it pronounced that way, but yeah, okay.
That's how I pronounce it.
I always pronounce it newer too.
Okay, but I have one of their sliders. It works good. I think I paid like $25 for it. So
there you go. I have lots of their products.
I do too.
Yeah, they're really really good. So
one of my lights is a newer light.
Newer.
See what I don't like using the term newer because it's not a new light. I've had it for like 4 years, so it's
and it still works. How cool is that, right? And it still works. Yeah. So
it's a fill light, but
so you got me inspired and to take some time. I'm gonna all right here. Tell you what. So since we're here, what should my first product be that I do unbox terrible with? That's a swim diaper,
random.
by the way. Not
I was like,
not an adult diaper.
What is that? And it even says, "Hi, Joe."
Yeah, right. No, it's I Play by Green Sprouts.
Oh my goodness!
Diaper. It's a swim diaper for size 36 months, not for 36 years. Let's see. What
it doesn't need to be anything too expensive.
So let's see. Do they have like cheap Amazon poop? Let's see. What's under new releases? I want tech.
Don't they have like a category that's like under $5 or something like that? Like,
I don't know. Do they?
Like deal of the day or something? I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay. Today's deals, but today's deals are almost never
true
cheap. Like,
why don't they have like right there under 25 down there? Where price
under 25? Here we go. This could be a thing. There's only one person watching live right now. It's just for everybody. So everybody, we've had like upwards of 10 people watching live.
Okay.
But at this point, I know it's getting late. So let's see. What should Joe buy? I'm gonna buy it. Whatever we were gonna buy, I'm buying right now. And when it gets here, we are going to unbox Terrible. Is that even a good name? I don't even know if that's a good name.
Oh, I think so.
Or should it be Send It Back Joe?
But the problem is like Send It Back Joe. It's not capturing what the channel or what the channel is going to be. I mean, you're really unboxing stuff just terribly.
Terribly, yes. That was the thought. I don't want to do a cable. What will get lots of views?
I think it almost has to be electronic.
Yes. What's like? Oh, what's this? LCD writing tablet, electronic writing board, drawing board.
It doesn't even.
What's that? Wait, what was that?
That's not even the.
No, that's not even the product.
It's not even the product.
Okay,
but
so
this thing's kind of cool.
This is an LCD,
and it's only $12.
It's $12. It's got two ratings, 2 stars, 3 stars. Why is 1 star Never received a little time. I hate when people do that. I hate people like that when they do that. I get it. You didn't get it, but why would you give it 1 star?
Yeah. How do you know you didn't get it?
Exactly. Write to Amazon. Just tell customer service. They're gonna like take care of it for you. It's not a big deal.
Isn't it like j.bezos at amazon.com, and that is it?
I've never written it, but I guess it is. Yeah.
It'd be hilarious if it was. I just think it's funny that that's not the product.
What's the cheapest cell phone? Like not cell phones and cell phone accessories. Let's just type. Well, you know what? Let's just type in cheap cell phone. Are you Android cell phone? Are you an Android guy or an Apple guy?
I reluctantly switched to Apple from when I was a BlackBerry guy. So,
from a wow, that was a long time. Was that a long time ago?
Yeah, I had pretty much every BlackBerry ever made.
Okay, here you go. So the Blue Advance.
Man, that's $40 though.
$40. I mean, I'm not monetized, so like I'm not going to be able to get my money. Like whatever I spend, like that's it.
I mean, you can go to a 7-Eleven and buy a $10 phone.
Yeah, but I'm
that's effort.
But well, here's the thing. Like, maybe this is just a pilot, but like, if I'm gonna do it, should I just go big and be like, screw it, gonna spend $300, buy a phone, and we're gonna unbox it?
Wow.
But I'm gonna buy an iPhone.
I think you need a proof of concept before you start dropping that kind of coin on something.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, A10. Yeah, but nobody cares about that.
No.
Right.
I thought that was like the electronic cigarette people.
I think is that the same? Is it spelled the same? Hold on, I want to open it up in an incognito because I don't need cigarette. Yeah, you're right. It is blue. BLU.
Yep.
Oh, thanks for that warning at the top. You're doing it right.
You're doing it right. No, I think he's doing it by the law.
Yeah, right. Okay, so instead of a blue phone, I could go track phone, a ZTE phone.
But see, at least that's like a smartphone.
Well, I mean, the Blue Advance it's an Android phone. I'm not going for this one. Yeah, I mean, this is probably an Android phone too, just not a touchscreen.
Yeah, but my grandmother has a better phone than that. I mean,
well, look, it's got 5 mega.
That's it, just 5 mega. We don't know if it's 5 megapixels, 5 mega RAM. I don't know.
The HD version for $50.
Oh.
$50. Well, hey, it looks like you're getting a lot more screen real estate, that's for sure. And you're getting a camera that's undisclosed. You know it's quality if it's got to tell you what the megas are.
It doesn't tell me if it's megapixels.
Megapixels. I mean, it could be,
That phone doesn't even look that bad.
No. Well, that's the thing is like, what, this phone or the
one that you were just, I don't know where
this
it went.
one? Oh, this one.
That one.
Yeah, that doesn't look terrible.
I mean, it looks very iPhone-ish.
It's got a quad core in it, 1.1 gigahertz. Yeah. Android Oreo, which I don't think is that new at this point.
Is it double stuffed?
No, I don't think it's double stuffed. I think it's just single and old at this point. I think. Let's see. When was the release date of this phone?
2006.
Did you think this is what we'd be doing?
No.
This is great. This is gonna be awesome.
And I smell dinner in the background too, so it's like.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up in a minute here. All right, so this came out last year, so it's still it's old at this point. It's ancient, but
anything over a month old in the tech world is old.
That's true, but I'm not going to spend more than $30.
No, I wouldn't.
So spend $30, right? Let's see. When can I get? I could have a Friday, so I could shoot it over the weekend. I could do the first unbox, and then take the video, and then be like, "Hey, look, this is how I'm doing it. It's live." And then I'll have an excuse to break out my other webcams, and kind of get multiple angles.
And the great thing is you're going to get this phone, and you're going to do this to it, and it's still going to work, and everyone's going to run out and buy track phones.
Yeah, right. Right, because if you need a burner phone that you can take to the club that you can't or shouldn't go to,
and then you're going to get a brand deal from Track Phone by the end of the year, and it's because
I destroyed the their phone.
No, you didn't. That's the thing. It still worked.
Well, yeah, it probably will. I mean, most people's phones are cracked like crazy. I mean, it's so funny that like people like do oh, here's the iPhone starter kit. It's got a cracked screen and everything. So, yeah, you know why? Because
Yeah.
the phone still works. 'Cause it still gets updated 5 years later.
Yep.
Your silly Android phone didn't get a single update after you bought it. Congratulations. You didn't
You
have a
should have
choice
bought a
but to go
blue.
get two for free because that's how they roll.
That is how they roll. If you sign up today, we'll give you this, a tablet, a TV, a smart card. Really?
Yeah. Hey, the newest Samsung phone's out. It's cool. I'll just wait 2 months and you'll give me two of them for free.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't even know if Samsung made phones anymore.
but really?
Nice. If my
Wow.
phone works, and I have like I have an iPhone 10s or whatever it is,
Okay.
and it still works. I have no need to run out and buy the latest and greatest phone. If my phone still does everything I need it to do, I'm not getting another one.
And honestly, you're probably in that boat for a while with the 10s.
It's a good phone. I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I have the 11, but before that I had the 10, and before that I had pretty much once I got the 10, I didn't feel the need it was the first iPhone I did not feel the need to upgrade from.
Right.
And I had upgraded every single year because it was like I know within 3 months the software the experience is gonna slow down immensely. So like I'm just gonna buy it now because if I wait 3 months, well then I'm 3 months closer to the new phone coming out.
My 10 surprisingly is still just as good as it was the day I got it.
I would have kept with the 10, but I wanted the wide angle. That was the number one thing, and I absolutely love it because a lot of times I would run and grab my mirrorless to get the wide angle for like with the kids and stuff because the kids are like literally standing in front of you. So like having the wide angle on the phone is like, oh well, I don't need this as often anymore. So
I just screw on a wide angle lens and be done with it.
and I've had a bunch of those over the years, but it's just I never use them as enough.
Yeah.
Like I just never use it enough.
Like my case on my phone has the screw just around it, so that's just the case that I have on my phone. So,
all right, so I'm gonna order it right now.
wow,
we're gonna do it. You're watching the birth of a new channel. Here's a question: do you think I should even bother doing a Facebook page for Unbox Terrible, or just literally I'm just gonna let it live on?
I think you need to do the pilot. I think you got a proof of concept, man. It's a
concept. All right. I'll do the proof of concept. Actually, I'm gonna buy this arm too because I need another long extended arm. So
dude, look at the Wally ones. They might even be cheaper.
The Wally ones.
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
I think it's like WALIE maybe something or
WALI. I am terrible with spelling.
There it is. Wally.
People...
Wally Universal TVs, like Wally monitor stand and all that stuff. There, they make a lot of good products.
Let's see, monitor stand.
And see, they're only like $30.
They have one with a double. That's a double height.
And the cool thing that I like about them is they clamp to your desk. Some of them just like clamp.
That's what this one is. I mean, all mine are Vivo except for like one of them.
Like they're basically the same thing as like the Elgato ones, but the Elgato ones are like $100.
Oh yeah. So this one looks like it would work for me, but the problem is it's only a single arm. Because I need it to be above. I already have 3 monitors, so I need it to be above. And do you do a vertical monitor? Probably not.
No.
So I'm testing this out to see if I like a vertical monitor.
Yeah.
I kind of like it so I have 3 monitors in front of me. Plus I have one up here for my cameras, and then I wanted to do 2 more. One for the Google Analytics for icons, so I always have like who's like the overview of like what's going on right here, right now. Yeah, and then I have but I don't know. Like I'm trying to play around with it to see.
The graphic designer in me wishes I had another monitor still, but I'm just on a one single big one.
Okay. Yeah. Even when I had an ultra wide, 34-inch. That was 3440 by 1440. Yeah. For a while, and I even with that, I still felt the need to have a second monitor because of things like what we're doing right now, where you share your screen.
Right. Yeah.
You got to be able to I just want to share the whole screen. I don't want to have to share just a window or something like that because inevitably you're gonna open up another window. You're like, I gotta start all over. But Yeah, I don't see the double height one here. Oh wait, that's Hanyu. Actually, that's cheaper, and it can be delivered by Friday. I don't know how much I trust it though. It's probably all
Shopping
coming out
with
the
Super
same.
Joe Pardo.
Yeah, right. Well, some people find this kind of stuff interesting because you're.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
is this extra tall pole, 39 inches? Yeah. It is cheaper, but is it cheap enough that I care? Because at least with the Vivo, they all use the same, Allen wrenches and
Yeah.
and the same brackets and stuff. So I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick with. I think I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna stick with this for now.
Is this still part of the podcast?
This is part of the podcast. Yes, this is yeah. So if you're still
Awesome.
listening, an hour and 49 minutes, and congratulations to you.
Yes.
You are doing awesome.
Oh, we're about to place an order.
All right. So when can we have the phone? Burner phone on July 3rd, July 6th. What's July 6th?
Monday.
Not till Monday. That's like an eternity from now. This is terrible. All right, I'm gonna do it though. Place order. You listened to it or you saw it here. We're starting up. Unbox Terrible. I gotta get out. I gotta reach out to Larry Roberts and get a cool looking logo.
That's awesome.
For it, or maybe it should
birth
just be
of an
like me
empire.
like smashing a box or something. I don't know. Eddie, how can people reach out to you? How can they connect with you? How can they get in the DMCA, whatever that stands for?
They could just go to facebook.com/groups/the DMCA, like THE DMCA, or you could just search Facebook groups for the Digital Media Creator Academy. It's also digitalmediacreatoracademy.com, and I'm Eddie Garrison on pretty much every single social media platform.
You are Eddie Garrison. Thank you so much, Super Eddie, for
Thanks for
hanging
having me,
in
man.
there. This is probably the longest episode of Wisdom Wednesday that I've done. Actually, probably the longest episode of the Indie podcast in general. Not the longest episode I've ever done of a pod. I think the longest was like closer to 4 hours, three hours, 3.5 hours, something like that. If you, there's a comment. Who's still here hanging out with us? Brad. I'm
good to see you, brother.
multitasking while listening. Thank you so much for hanging in there, Brad. For anybody who doesn't know, because I haven't really posted about it, to be honest, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., Magic Brad is joining me here on Training Thursday, where I'll be doing a podcasting coaching session with him, looking at his podcasting efforts, probably his YouTube efforts, because he also is pretty active in there too.
Cool.
And helping him take his stuff to the next level. That's
Awesome.
part of the free coaching Training Thursday. If you want to learn more about the Supercharger podcast, the Super Circle, I'm getting really tired. You should totally go check out indiepodcasters.com/super or superchargeyourpodcast.com. I'm big into too many domains. Are you a domain name hoarder?
I used to be, not anymore.
You were so good on you, man. Good on you.
When the list started getting to like 30 and 40, I'm like, I got to trim this up a bit.
Right, because then the bills, it just like it turns into like a massive bill. It's not like, oh, it's $2 or $6 a year or whatever. Like, no, it's like $600 a year.
Yeah.
I'm not even using most of them. So you go to superchargeyourpodcast.com if you want to turn your podcast into a business. The community launches on Friday, so in 2 days we will be launching that private community. If you're interested in being an affiliate, maybe, I don't know if you're interested, Eddie, but if you're interested, reach out to me. I'll get you all the details, and we'll go from there.
Cool.
I got some pretty good benefits going on, I think, for it, and I'm looking forward to getting and sharing and raising up the people in the Icon community. Thank you all for watching, listening. It's almost 2 hours in. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern with Brad, and on Friday for Free Ride Friday, now named Free Ride Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern to answer your podcasting questions. Everybody, have a great night, and I will see you all tomorrow.